In this video, we've explored 5 self-destructive habits that instantly make people lose respect for you. These habits, complaining and blaming others, being inconsistent with your words and actions, lacking emotional control, gossiping, and constantly seeking validation, can weaken your character and push people away. The Stoics taught that true strength comes from self-discipline, integrity, and self-sufficiency. By eliminating these behaviors, you not only gain the respect of others but also develop an unshakable mindset. Take control of your actions, master your emotions, and build a life of confidence and self-respect. Number 1. Control what you can, let go of the rest. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan, strive, or hope, there will always be factors beyond our control. This simple truth, if not accepted, leads to frustration, anxiety, and unnecessary suffering. But the Stoics had a solution. They believed that true power lies in controlling only what is within our grasp and letting go of everything else. Imagine trying to control the weather. No matter how much you wish for sunshine on your important day, the clouds will still roll in if they please. Complaining, stressing, or feeling disappointed won't change the outcome. Instead, Stoics teach that we should shift our focus to what we can actually influence: our responses, our mindset, and our actions. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the essence of Stoic thought, directing our energy toward what we can control instead of wasting it on external circumstances. Think about it. How many times have you allowed yourself to be consumed by things outside your control? Maybe someone cut you off in traffic and you carried that anger with you all day. Maybe your boss made a decision you didn't agree with, and you let it ruin your mood. In these moments, you are handing over your power to things that don't deserve it. The truth is, no amount of frustration will change the situation. But what will change the game is your response. By choosing to focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, you gain something more valuable than controlling the world itself: inner peace. This mindset gives you the ability to remain calm in chaos, to stay focused when life gets unpredictable, and to move forward despite setbacks. This doesn't mean you should stop caring about external events. It means you should care wisely. When facing adversity, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is yes, take action. If the answer is no, let it go and move forward. The world is full of things beyond our control: other people's opinions, the economy, traffic, the weather, and even the way life unfolds. But your reaction, that is always yours. By mastering this mindset, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering and frustration. You become unshakable. Instead of wasting energy on things you cannot change, you channel your focus into what truly matters: your personal growth, your goals, and your inner peace. This is where true power lies. Stoicism isn't about being indifferent to life's hardships. It's about mastering them. The sooner you realize that peace isn't found in controlling the world, but in controlling yourself, the stronger you become. And in a world full of distractions and chaos, this ability will set you apart as someone who is truly in control, not of the world, but of the only thing that truly matters: yourself. Number 2. Detach from external validation. One of the biggest traps people fall into is constantly seeking validation from others. Whether it's through social media, workplace recognition, or approval from friends and family, many of us unknowingly let our self-worth be dictated by external opinions. But here's the harsh truth. When you depend on others to feel valuable, you give them the power to control your happiness. The Stoics understood this long ago and taught that true confidence comes from within, not from the fleeting opinions of others. Epictetus, a famous Stoic philosopher, once said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This means that if you truly want to grow and master yourself, you must be willing to be misunderstood or even disliked. Why? Because the need for approval is a form of slavery. If your sense of self-worth depends on external praise, you will always be at the mercy of others. Imagine this. You post something online, expecting likes and praise, but the response is underwhelming. You feel disappointed, maybe even anxious. But why? Did the number of likes suddenly change your value as a person? Of course not. The only thing that changed was your perception because you let external validation determine your inner state. The same applies in real life. Many people avoid taking risks, speaking their minds, or following their true passions because they fear judgment. They don't pursue what they truly want because they are too worried about what others will think. But here's the irony. Most people are so focused on themselves that they rarely spend time thinking about you. Their opinions are fleeting. Their judgments are often baseless, and yet, many live their entire lives chained to these illusions. The Stoics teach that freedom comes from detachment from the need to be liked, from the desire to be praised, and from the illusion that external approval equals self-worth. When you stop seeking validation, you become truly powerful. You start making decisions based on your values, not on what others expect from you. You pursue goals that matter to you, regardless of whether people approve. You develop an inner confidence that is unshakable because it doesn't depend on outside forces. This doesn't mean you should ignore feedback or refuse to learn from others, but there is a big difference between learning from others and depending on them for self-worth. Ask yourself, do you live for yourself, or do you live for the approval of others? If the answer is the latter, it's time to break free. The reality is, external validation is never enough. No matter how much praise you receive, there will always be someone who disagrees with you. No matter how much approval you gain, it will never truly fulfill you. The only way to be truly free is to validate yourself. Instead of seeking approval, seek self-respect. Instead of craving praise, build self-discipline. Instead of trying to impress others, focus on impressing yourself. Because when you stop needing validation, you become unstoppable. Number 3. Master your emotions. Stop overreacting. Emotional control is a skill that separates strong individuals from those who are easily manipulated by circumstances. In a world full of stress, negativity, and constant challenges, maintaining emotional composure is one of the most powerful things you can do. Yet many people fail in this aspect. They react impulsively, lash out in anger, or break down in frustration. But here's the truth. Losing control over your emotions gives others control over you. The Stoics believe that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Think about it. How often have you let someone's words or actions ruin your entire day? How many times have you allowed a small inconvenience to trigger an emotional breakdown? The reality is, emotional overreaction doesn't just damage your relationships, it weakens your character. When you let anger, frustration, or fear take over, you become a slave to your impulses rather than the master of your mind. Imagine a scenario where someone insults you. Your immediate reaction might be to fight back, defend yourself, or even dwell on it for hours. But ask yourself, does reacting emotionally change the situation? Does it make you stronger, or does it show that you are easily provoked? The Stoics believed that wisdom lies in detachment. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a step back and observe your emotions rather than becoming them. A moment of silence is far more powerful than an explosion of anger. The key to emotional mastery is awareness. Most people react without thinking. They get angry before understanding the situation. They panic before assessing the problem, and they lash out before seeking solutions. The first step in mastering your emotions is to recognize that you are not your feelings. You are the observer of your feelings. The next time you feel anger rising, pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, does this situation truly deserve my energy? In most cases, it doesn't. Another powerful way to build emotional control is reframing your perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as personal attacks, see them as opportunities to grow. Instead of seeing criticism as an insult, view it as feedback. Instead of getting frustrated by setbacks, understand that obstacles are part of the journey. This mindset shift allows you to stay calm, composed, and in control, even in the face of adversity. At the end of the day, emotional control is not about suppressing feelings. It's about mastering them. It's about choosing response over reaction, logic over impulse, and strength over weakness. The more you train yourself to stay composed under pressure, the more powerful you become. Because the person who controls their emotions controls their life. Number 4. Stop gossiping and speaking negatively about others. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is by indulging in gossip and negative talk about others. It may seem harmless, a quick chat about someone's personal life, a joke at another's expense, or an opinion about someone's mistakes. But in reality, gossiping reveals more about you than the person you are talking about. It tells people that you are untrustworthy, unkind, and insecure. And worst of all, it creates a reputation you won't escape from. The Stoics believed in self-discipline, wisdom, and virtue, and one of the core aspects of virtue is speaking with integrity. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." If you constantly engage in gossip, you are training your mind to focus on the flaws of others rather than improving yourself. Instead of elevating your own character, you are dragging others down, and eventually that negativity will return to you. People who gossip usually do so for 3 reasons. 1. They seek validation by making others look bad. 2. They are avoiding their own insecurities. Or 3. They enjoy the temporary thrill of drama. But here's the harsh truth. If you gossip about others, people will assume you gossip about them too. They will stop trusting you, stop confiding in you, and ultimately, stop respecting you. No one wants to be around someone who thrives on negativity. Think about the most respected individuals in history, leaders, philosophers, and thinkers. Did they waste their time whispering about others, or did they focus on higher ideals? Great minds discuss ideas while small minds discuss people. The more you indulge in gossip, the more you shrink your own world. Instead of expanding your knowledge, improving your character, and building meaningful relationships, you are focusing on things that add no real value to your life. So, how do you stop gossiping? First, develop awareness. Notice when conversations start drifting toward negativity, and ask yourself, is this necessary? Is this kind? Is this beneficial? If the answer is no, redirect the conversation. Second, replace gossip with constructive discussions. Instead of speaking negatively about someone, think of a way to uplift the conversation. If someone brings up another person's failure, shift the focus to a lesson that can be learned from the situation. Third, surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire. The more you engage with those who focus on growth, the less you will feel the need to indulge in gossip. Lastly, remember this: your words shape your reality. If you constantly speak negatively, your mind will be filled with negativity. But if you choose to speak with kindness, wisdom, and purpose, your entire life will reflect that. The strongest individuals are those who don't waste time tearing others down, but instead focus on building themselves up. Number 5. Seeking validation and approval constantly. One of the most damaging habits that instantly makes people lose respect for you is constantly seeking validation and approval from others. While it's natural to want to be liked and accepted, depending too much on external validation makes you seem insecure, indecisive, and weak-minded. People admire those who are confident in themselves, who trust their own judgment, and who don't need constant reassurance to feel worthy. When you always look to others for approval, you are essentially handing them the power to control your emotions, decisions, and self-worth. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from within. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, once said, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own." This is the paradox of seeking validation. While we want to be independent, we also crave external approval. But here's the truth. The more you chase approval, the less you will receive it. People respect those who are self-assured and make decisions based on principles, not popularity. When you constantly seek validation, you are telling the world that your own opinion is not enough. You hesitate before making decisions, second-guess yourself, and wait for someone else to tell you that you are doing the right thing. This lack of confidence can be exhausting to others. Friends, colleagues, and even loved ones will eventually grow tired of constantly reassuring you, and instead of respecting you, they may start seeing you as a burden. No one respects a person who cannot stand firm in their own beliefs. So, why do people fall into the trap of needing constant approval? It often stems from fear of rejection, fear of failure, and fear of not being enough. We grow up being conditioned to seek validation, whether from parents, teachers, or society. But as we become adults, we must learn to validate ourselves. Self-respect comes from self-trust. If you don't trust your own thoughts, opinions, and decisions, why should anyone else? The key to breaking free from this habit is developing inner confidence. Start by making small decisions without asking for reassurance. When faced with a choice, ask yourself, what do I believe is the right thing to do? Rather than waiting for approval, trust yourself and move forward. Over time, as you see your decisions work out, you will develop confidence in your own judgment. Another powerful method is detaching from others' opinions. This doesn't mean ignoring advice or refusing to listen to feedback, but rather understanding that not everyone's approval is necessary. You will never please everyone. There will always be someone who disagrees with you, criticizes you, or doesn't see your worth. Instead of seeking to please others, focus on doing what aligns with your values. A practical way to implement this mindset is to ask yourself, would I still make this decision if no one were watching? If the answer is yes, then proceed with confidence. If you find yourself hesitating, it's a sign that you may be acting based on external approval rather than genuine conviction. Lastly, develop a mindset of self-validation. When you accomplish something, don't wait for others to recognize it. Acknowledge yourself. When you make a good decision, don't look for someone else's approval. Trust that you made the right call. The more you affirm yourself, the less you will depend on external validation. In the end, true respect is earned by those who stand firm in their beliefs, who act with confidence, and who don't seek constant reassurance from the world. The more you learn to validate yourself, the more others will respect you. When you stop chasing approval and start living authentically, you not only gain the admiration of others, but also develop a deep sense of inner peace. The strongest people don't need the world to tell them their worth. They already know it. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss how we can all live more stoically. If you found value in this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more wisdom, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. Stay wise, stay focused, and remember, sometimes the greatest strength is in what you keep to yourself.